Yo, what I go on? C6 building. You get me? Facts official there. Deck 1, Deck 2. Are we saying what? Episode 16, yeah?
Yeah. There.
Big up the fluffy pillow and that.
Yeah.
But no, but that looks hella comfy though. No one of them ones that you just hug up. No?
No.
What do you say? What's the point of having it then?
To rest your back on, is it?
Okay. I hear you. What go on though?
Nothing, man. Yeah. Imagine I brought my little rule though.
What was that?
I went to a little. It's little though still, but I went to a little one of them outside parties still.
How was it?
But they let us out. They let us out. So technically, I ain't broke my rule, did it?
Yeah, you ain't broke. No, you broke your rule. You didn't break the government's rule.
Yeah, because they let us out. It was all right. Still, it was a little vibe, innit? But to be fair, it was like a little thing at a pub. You know, little jerk chicken.
Yeah.
2 magnums. It was just a little.
Okay, that's definitely a black pub if they sell magnums.
No. I bought that in from the road, didn't it?
Okay.
I'm the black one.
So what do you think? Like, do you think people are keeping distance from each other, or do you think that they're like proper just don't care?
Well, people are just vibes. Having a good old time, mate.
I noticed that the silent discos, the headphone parties are popping off.
Bro, there's about 1 million now.
Bro, every single day, bro.
Yeah, there's 1 million now.
But let's not forget Showdown Silent Disco. You get me? Where it started.
The original.
The original. Still the best. Still the baddest. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I'm watching them and I'm like, raw. Like, I'm seeing them and I'm thinking, raw. People are obviously just a means to an end, innit? Like, people are doing what it takes. So I take my hat off to anyone who's being inventive with it.
Yeah,
I'm not really in the. Sorry, go on.
The mad thing though, some people are taking their headphones home,
brother,
and then going to other. Listen to this. Some people are going to other ones, yeah, and then like rolling and saying, "Yo, my headphones not working, is it?"
I'm trying to get a swap.
Doing the swaps, and they're getting like a buy one get one free, bro.
Yeah, that's mad. This is the thing is because you see me, obviously the one that I did, like obviously it's in a venue, so like giving them out, I'm collecting them. It's paramount to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, so we used to have 100% collection rate.
Yeah.
But you're in a venue, so you can't leave. Security, boom, headphones. Everyone knows headphones. I got my door staff.
And there wasn't another one 2 days away, so there was no point.
Yeah. Come on, you teeth in it just don't makes you like an idiot. You know what I mean? You know. But yeah, this week's episode 16. What we got for them, bro?
So today we've been where we've been like Caribbean, so we've done a bit of soca.
Yeah.
Done a bit of like UK funky.
Yeah.
Touched on elements of dancehall.
A lot of that. And the R&B dudes.
R&B.
Yeah.
So today we're taking it to the motherland.
We're taking it to the motherland. All right, let's see what we got. In there. All right, give me a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, hold on. Give me another countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Another one.
5, 4.
Quick, another one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They are in the building. The man them are in the building.
Yeah.
What's good?
They are. The man them are in the building. All right. So
what's some of your Jamaican time in C6, man?
Brother.
Yeah. Are we in Portmore or what?
Wow.
Bro, this is what it is, you know. I said to myself, listen. I said, Burna Boy will be proud of me. I'm gonna be a real yard.
Oh no, serious.
Like them clapbacks.
It's all good.
I'll open and cook food, bro.
It's all good. We got the guys in the building, man. We got Selecta Maestro. Ton Rasta now, you know. I ain't seen him for long. And last time I saw him, he was a ballad like me.
Yeah, I know, man.
Now he's a full Ras.
The lion catch me, bro.
Love that, man. I love that. And we got, who's this? We got Juls. Juls, how do you say it? How do you say your name? It's Juls, yeah. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you still, so big up. Big up, so you got the dinner there. What you got there, bro?
Pasta. Oh, sorry.
Jollof rice.
Jollof.
Jollof rice. Man's keeping it authentic.
Wait, where is it from though? Where's it from?
What do you mean?
Is it Nigerian?
No.
Sierra Leone? Ghanaian?
The Ghanaians in this building only.
All right, well that's it. That's the truth right there, you know.
Including Neptizzle.
Yeah. And we got Neptizzle in the building. What go on, bro?
You say, bro? I'm good, man.
Nice to meet you. I've seen you around a few times, but yeah, nice to officially meet you.
Yes, bro.
We got Harm K hiding and that. You know, them models there, you know. I feel the budget. Yo. Yeah,
I'll just say it's nice to meet you all for the first time in life.
Oh, shut up, man.
Right.
Man said the first time in life. So, but listen, differently though. Big up the Ghanaians though, because I'm an honorary Ghanaian, you know.
Where do you came? You went there in it? See?
Yeah, I've been there, man. I love it, bro. I love it. I love it.
You know what? You see, let me tell you a little secret. C6 tested his ancestry, and he's actually from Teshinongwa. Check it out.
Yeah. From Nongwa, how you mean? You know that, man. Come on, man.
To be fair, I'm not surprised.
Because our money's up a bit, you know, we stay in Tema. You know what I mean?
Pop.
Yeah, man. So big up the man them in the building. Big up the man them in the building. Yeah, listen, I thought me and Fats have been working through the episodes, and we were thinking like, what kind of things can we talk about? So we've been talking about things ranging from wedding DJs, uni DJs, promoters. We spoke about R&B, but you know, we was like, listen, we need to talk about Afrobeats. We need to talk about the music from the motherland. So then we were like, we got to get in the big boys.
Can I just say, before we continue,
Mm-hmm.
Are we recording live now, yeah?
Yeah.
Can we give a big shout out to Nicole Fear, who died over the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
She was a major player in our business, and she carried the culture on her back.
Yeah.
I didn't really know a lot about her, but that's the girl that was she did a lot of dancing and stuff with her.
One of the baddest dancers in the business. Like, you have to understand with Afrobeats, there's different elements to it. So there's obviously the DJs, then you have the artists, producers, but the dancers actually play a big part in our business.
Yeah.
So, and she was one of them, you understand? So,
you know what? In saying that, yeah, I learned this the other day. I played out at a party last week, Saturday, and there was these two guys. They're Afrobeat dancers. I can't remember their name. It's a bit slightly disrespectful that I can't remember their name. Anyway, they started dancing, yeah, and people taking out $1 US bills and flinging them. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen that shit before. These two guys just dancing for money. I was thinking, this is a bit mad. Don't take it for clothes. Don't take it for clothes. They didn't. But yeah, it's a good vibe. You could see that, and everyone was captivated by their dances and that. So it was a good look, man. It was a good look. Yeah. So rest in peace. That's really
and the baby Rain as well, man.
And oh yeah, she was pregnant.
And her baby as well. And her baby as well.
Man, yeah, that's sad news, man. And condolences to our partner. Like, he's obviously gonna be cut up right now. But wish him all the strength, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, what go on with your image though, bro?
What? Do I need to come on camera?
Of course you do.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
See these superstars here, bro.
This is what I'm saying.
2 minutes, I'll turn on. I know you want to see my face. See, don't worry. I know.
Yeah, of course. Your big smile gives me life, bro. Gives me life. So yeah, we got some of the big boys in the business here, man. Shouts out to Neptizzle. Listen, when I first heard Afrobeats, a friend of mine, Stephen and Lennox, shouts out to them. They had a birthday party. In fact, I think it was their 30th, and that was 8 years ago. And they had a African wear party on King's Road. Neptizzle was a DJ, and I've been invited, and I'm thinking, bro. At first, I was a bit hurt, like, bro, hold on, you know I'm a DJ. Why am I not booked? And then when I got there and heard what he was doing, I was like, okay, yeah, that's why. I was shazamming, and them kind of Shazam, they didn't even know any of the tunes. I remember Neptizzle probably wouldn't know this yet, but I was standing kind of behind him, just looking and like trying to write names down and that, like looking. So yeah, didn't really do a good job because I was getting all the spelling wrong. Oh yeah, man. So shouts out to you guys, man, doing your thing. Big up Selecta Maestro. I've seen his journey from Wade, you know what I mean? So I remember when me and Selecta Maestro played at Afrobeats versus Bashment. You remember in Rock?
Boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna bust you lot on this, yeah. Me and Selecta Maestro, yeah. We've gone there together. I'm doing the Bashment, he's doing the Afrobeats. But his hard drive popped down. You remember?
Yep.
Hard drive popped down. So I got all the Bashments. So then I ended up playing Afrobeats against myself as well with his help, saying, play that one, play that one. So yeah. Safe to say Bashment won that night because my limited.
That night, did you have just a Zonto, bruv?
There's a tune. In fact, yeah, I got a tune here. Let me see if I'm gonna play it. Yeah, this is how much of a thief I was back in the day when it comes to Afrobeat. Because you could only get tunes. There's this website at the beginning of the song, it was hey, you know what I'm talking about? What's it called? Big X something.
Big XGH.
Yeah, that was where I used to get it. But then I got this tune one time. Let me try and find it now, yeah. And listen to what it says at the beginning. I had to
the website and everything.
No, it's even worse. It's even worse.
This is DJ's name. This is another DJ's name.
Why are you trying to out me, bro? I've been playing it for years. I've been playing this song for years. As soon as it loads up, my computer's a bit old, so as soon as it loads up, you'll hear it. But yeah. So yeah, there's a few things I want to talk about in terms of Afrobeats. I'm a lover of Afrobeats. Like I love it from Azonto right up to now. You know what I mean? I'm not just a new
flyby.
Like say, I'm not one of the.
I can vouch for that.
I proper enjoy it. Like when back in the day when it was like you see soca, yeah, it's something that I can't really do soca, but like Afrobeats was my go-to. Right, you know when the man's drinking the 2-liter Coke like that, you know he needs business. Big bottle, yeah, man. But yeah, so I've always been a lover of it. So it'd be nice to have a little talk about it and unpack some of the things about it. I want to know some stuff about it and why you lot focus so much on it, especially Neptizzle. I want to know a bit of his journey, you know, to find out why Afrobeats is his choice of music. And you know, he might be the biggest Ghanaian guy here now, but I don't know. So it'd be nice to find out his journey.
Oh, not that long ago, yeah, I heard Neptizzle play some dancehall. I was shocked, bro. I was shocked, bro. I couldn't believe it.
At the Trace party.
Yeah. Oh. I'm like, oh, I don't think I've ever heard that in all the years I've known you, Nick.
Yeah, no one ever gave me a chance to, man. Everyone keeps booking me for Afrobeats, bro. I don't know why.
Likewise.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I think once you kind of own something, like you own a genre or you champion it, you get stuck. You get put in that little pigeonhole, and that's you. And it's unfair to a DJ that can do a lot more things. But but you Selecta Maestro, you're kind of self-inflicted with that. Because I've never heard Neptizzle say, yeah, I'm the Afrobeats anything, but you Afrobeats takeover. I feel like you kind of put yourself in that without even knowing.
Yeah.
Because even for me, when I book you or I think about booking you, yeah, Afrobeats, and then Afrobeats takeover comes in my head, and then boom. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel for someone like Neptizzle, that might be a bit of a unfair thing because he didn't intentionally put himself there. But I feel with your branding, I think you could have slightly done it to yourself.
You know what? I can look at it. Hearing you say that, I can understand where you're coming from. I will say this though.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that we carry African music on our backs, we're DJs first and foremost.
Yeah, of course. And
we're very multi-skilled in other genres, not just technically, but in terms of knowledge base. So obviously as DJs, as soundmen, we understand that, but then sometimes you've got to try and convey that to the public. So of the last few gigs I've had, obviously Afrobeats will always come out of my box. It's just what I do in it. But I will always fling something else to surprise the people. They're like, rah. See where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's one of them things.
All right, you want to hear that? Do you want to hear that thing quickly? Yeah. Listen to
Oh
this.
yeah, run the tune, man. Run the tune.
Listen to this. I've been playing this from about South Beach days, man. I can't even remember, man. That's what,
Ross.
2006 or something. What year we in now? Yeah, that's what. So listen to this, yeah. Not that one. Not that one. That's not that tune. Oh no, I flopped. But that's not the tune I'm talking about, man. But what's the tune, man? I flopped already, man. So it's too late. Flop. Anyway,
Oh, your hard drive crash, yeah?
At the beginning of the tune, yeah, it says DJ Neptizzle. I swear, it's been saying. It says.
I bet it's R2B's Cool It Down. Because I've got the same tune. I know exactly what it is.
No, it's not even that. So that means you're doing it as well. That means we're in the same boat. I don't feel that bad no more.
I've got one of Nep's old mix CDs where it goes, "You're locked into DJ Neptizzle," and it goes, "Cool it down." Remember that one, Nep?
Yeah.
It's a mad old. So that's
2011.
Even just the other day, I had to get rid of it off my hard drive because I kept drawing for it.
It could be this one. It could be this one.
Oh, right.
But that's DJ Neptizzle at the beginning. Do you hear it?
Yeah. Do you know why? That's a Rough and Smooth song, I think.
Yeah, Rough and Smooth.
Yeah, it is.
It's a Rough and Smooth song, and they had it on back in the day when they were giving out music. There was no like mailing list or anything like that for them, so they were still going around with like physical copies of CDs. So they gave me a CD because they did a shop in Cardiff for Gun Independence. So then they gave me their PA CD, and I just kept it, and that was one of the tracks on there. And the track didn't have a name or anything like that. And they hadn't really officially released it, so I was like the only person with the track. And I put it on a mix CD.
Wow. But it's mad, yeah, because it's mad because I feel like I got the whole track, but it just at the beginning says your name.
No idea.
It feels like that series, like it's about 3 minutes long. It feels like the whole track. But anyway, you helped me bust enough dance, man. I got money forward on it, so I owe you a tenner still.
It's seasonal, right?
All right, let's get straight into it then. Let me get the questions up. Firstly, sorry guys, if you want to introduce yourself on that, for those who don't know who you are. So yeah, we start with Maestro. We can start with you. Let people know what you are, who you are, and what you do and stuff.
Selecta Maestro, DJ, radio presenter, music specialist. I'll include entrepreneur in that as well. I've been in the business longer than people think, and yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's me.
How long?
How long have I been in the business? On and off since 2000.
You old G, you old.
Yeah.
On and off. Jeez, 2000. Yeah, man.
2000.
That's good innings. That's good innings.
So
that's good. Next one. Anyone?
Who next?
You might as well be.
I'll do it, man. I'm still laughing about 2000, bro.
I look young, but I'm a real old timer, bro. Trust me.
I was year 8 at mid-year 2000, fam.
Right.
Yeah, same.
I say year 8. Wow. Bro.
2000. I was listening to Craig David. Yo, I'm DJ Neptizzle, Afrobeats DJ, been on Rinse, been doing that for a couple of years. Before that I was on Represent, did that for a couple of years. I'm on NTS and Rinse right now. Yeah, man, I hate talking about myself. I never really know what to say, but
how long have you been DJing then?
Like I always kind of start from when I got paid. So in terms of getting paid to do it, like 2007.
Okay. Seeing. Cool. Harm K.
Harm K, presenter, Ghanaian influencer, and entrepreneur. Been in entertainment. Funny enough, I first started as a DJ in 2003, 2004. So say about, where are we now? Okay, that's about 16 years, call it. Yeah, 16, 17 years.
Wow.
You're not far off from Maestro.
Yeah, but I'm way younger than Maestro, facts.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
I said way younger, you know, like that.
Way
Shots
younger
fired.
than
Only 4 years. Don't gash yourself.
Maestro.
All right, cool. And then
Juls.
Juls Baby.
Producer, DJ, songwriter. I've been making beats since 07.
yeah.
You're kind of low, you know, Juls.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, nah.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Making beats since 07. DJing, I want to say like 2012. Yeah, that's longer. That's how long I've been doing this thing as well.
So good. Oh, wait! When you just said Juls Baby, that's you, yeah. I've heard. What song is that? That's on a bag of tunes. Isn't it?
It's a lot of records, bro.
I'm gassed now. Hey, I now know. Yo, what on, bro? He said.
Hey, see, why is your voice go so high pitched?
No, you know what it is. The thing is, yeah. I didn't know who he was. Like, Francis told me about him, but I didn't put the two together. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, gassed now, innit? I'm around the stars. All stars right now. This is it.
Trust me, that's why we all had to wait for Jules.
Trust me. When I heard Jules was running late, I was like, yeah.
Oh, so the Jules' thought it didn't start 8:30.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
I just didn't want to like cut the session and then just you know what I'm saying. So I just wanted to make sure I'd done everything properly before.
He was making hits, man. That's a good excuse. He was making hits.
So what's your biggest hit then? Or what's your biggest tune that you for yourself, or your favorite tune that you've made?
Wow!
Good question. I want to say One Day Call is my favorite. So.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff with Burna Boy as well. Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, all those records that I did for Easy when he was coming up as well.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest one, though, man.
Yeah,
I think for me, Skin Tight in terms of what it did for the sound and what it did for Mr. Easy's career and Jules' own career, because that was one of like the first tracks where people were like, "What is this tune?" You know what I mean? And even for Afrobeats DJs, having such a big song in their set that you could play it to even like a Caribbean crowd and they know what it is.
Yeah.
Now that tune did set things. And then so that tune Bad, that's you as well, innit?
Yeah.
That's your tune though, innit? Like not like you call yourself, you put yourself on the tune as an artist, right?
Yeah. When I started doing that, when I just felt like I was making all of these records, and producers sometimes you don't get that love and recognition, so I just started getting involved more in the creative songwriting process of everything. You should earn the record, and when I'm DJing, you know, in my own events, or if I've got a set or whatever, I can play my own records as well. So it's a way of self-promoting your brand. It's a way of, you know, putting yourself out there and, you know, just building that opportunity to, you know, make records with, you know, other artists, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, off the back of that, you know, I've worked with like loads of artists, you know, that are quite prolific and, you know, literally kind of like created my own sound that I feel like has set trends, if that kind of makes sense.
100.
Definitely.
Yeah, Skin Tight definitely is one of the big records that I feel shifted the sound of Afrobeats in a way, because at first Afrobeats was very up-tempo.
Yeah.
We might as well get into that.
Yeah. That was one of the questions.
Yeah.
So, because I noticed that, because as I said, when I first started getting into it, it was a lot of the faster stuff, you know, your Zonto type of music. And I guess that's where the separation was, because you would have to, when you're in a multi-genre party, it would almost be like, okay, it's Afrobeats time. It wouldn't just flow. Unless you were mixing it with like a funky house or something. It would always be stop, it's Afrobeats time. Where now, it being slower, so a tune like Skin Tight, it just flows with what, like the R&B, the hip hop, and it just kind of just, it merges everything into one. So now I feel like people subconsciously just fall in love with the music. You know?
Yeah, because before it was hard, boy. When, like I said, when it was Afrobeats time, that's when the floor just gets cleared, boy. Like you play Afrobeats in a dance, like everyone, you go from saying Vibes Cartel or Elephant Man, then Afrobeat DJ comes in and then you lose 75% of the crowd.
Okay.
Listen, I've actually played in dances where I won't say booed off, but I've experienced what it's like to have people want to get you off the decks. This is when Afrobeat.
Maestro, share your pain. Don't say you was booed off. We've all been booed off for Afrobeats, man.
Okay, yeah, man.
We've taken the shots. We've taken the shots, man. Let's say it. We've taken the shots.
See, the thing is, see when you told DJs, hey, you're an idiot, you know.
We've taken the bullets, man. Listen.
But you know the thing is, you see when like DJs now come in the business, they won't ever know what that's like. You understand? Like that's we've got a real foundation sitting that we've done it. You know.
I feel like that's with every other era, to be honest. Like,
of course, yeah.
Then, like, most of us use like, you know, the typical Serato 900, 2000, whatever. There's not all of us that know how to use like the vinyl. None of us are connecting vinyls to our laptops. Back in the day, they literally used to carry their crates.
I've still got back pains from that.
The rhythms. So I feel like it always changes. What I wanted to know is, you know, back in the day, it was literally just hip hop, you know, dancehall music. You get your old school. I'm trying to remember what song it was that DJs started introducing into their sets, the Afrobeat side of things. So you know when you just drop like one or two Afrobeat songs that people were familiar with, and they started to build from that. I don't remember what that song is.
I think that song would have been Wizkid, Don't Dull.
Before that.
No, before that.
I thought you meant. I thought you were talking about in a multi-genre party.
No. But even before that, we need to remember that before Don't Dull and all those things, there we had the high life stuff. So we had.
So I think the high life used to get bought in though.
Where?
Not really. They're probably
the one song that was you just loved it or you only heard was Premier Gaul by Magic System.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the days of like Cameo. So I'd say maybe like 05-ish, and then you try and play something after that, maybe a Sweet Mother. That would be the maximum. Anything after that is like,
All right, there's a song here that goes, I think, you know, I've given it a name, but it might be the wrong name to Rascal. It's called
Maintain.
You gave it a dancehall name, innit?
No, I call it, it's Sarkodie, yeah? I call it You Go Kill Me.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, that song there and Magic System, those are the ones that I would say, at the time, you could.
But You Go Kill Me, but remember, You Go Kill Me, that's the start of Azonto, so you're talking 2011-ish.
2010.
In my time of, like, I never knew about, there was no Afrobeats being played. I never heard of that at all until, like, them times. There was never played that dance. Sweet Mother, I didn't even know that was, I thought that was some old Calypso kind of style song. Because we've been playing that like in Jamaican households and Caribbean households for years. I thought that was one of us. So I didn't even know. Like, so when I see you claiming that at the clashes, you know, the Afro in the Wahala clashes. Hold on. What's it? That's not their tune. So yeah.
I think the uni scene, I think the uni scene helped a little bit with regards to the Afrobeats emerging into the normal raving scene, like the wider raving scene. Because in the
100%.
uni scene, Afrobeats was a genre. Like I know Neptizzle was in the uni rave playing Afrobeats, and it was going off. This wasn't a genre where people were going, "What's this?" It was fully embraced because there was a lot of people, obviously from Africa, going to uni, and that was their music. So it was embraced fully there. Obviously,
you know as well, what to build on that fact, I think because obviously when you go to uni, you've got things such as the African Caribbean Society, and you do little things within your uni halls, and you meet someone that's, say, a fellow Ghanaian or a fellow Nigerian, and you realize, right, this person cooks jollof rice, or this person eats banku and tilapia. Like, these are the dishes that I only eat at home by myself. But when you meet 3-4 people that you can share your home values and culture with, naturally you start to promote it. You don't talk about your culture behind closed doors. It now becomes a thing of you talk about outside. So when it comes to the rave now, and you hear your One African songs, you and your bedrooms all go to the dance, but you don't enjoy it in the corner no more. You own the dance, maybe just 4 of you lot. If you're all the way in Midlands or wherever you are, whether you're in London Uni or outside London Uni.
And also, I feel like around those times, parents always used to, make it a point that the whole family will go back to Ghana for Christmas. So when they go back to Ghana, for Christmas holidays, and they're going out and they're hearing all of these tunes, all the London people, the American people, who are Ghanaian, they go back home and they're hearing all these tunes. When they go back home, they're like, yo, when I went to Ghana, they were playing this, and this is what was hot at the time. And even you get all the DJs and all of us that go back home, we literally find out what's popping. We come back home and we start playing those records. Build, some sort of momentum in the dance, literally.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. Yeah, maybe you can help me. This is something that's been puzzling me for years. Yeah, so I made an Afrobeats mix years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it done quite well, and I got a booking off of the back of it. Yeah, and this girl booked me for her birthday, and she's like, "Listen, I heard your mix, blah blah blah." Them time, I just thought I'd taken the booking in it. I want the piece. So I thought, cool. But she's like, listen, make it, I want the night to be 80% Afrobeats. I said, 80%? Me being me, I still took the booking. So I took the booking. I'm downloading as much as I can. I'm on this website, the one, the big Ghana one there. I'm on that. I'm on it. I'm downloading everything. And when I get there, I'm just downloading tunes, I get there and then she's like, I'm playing some tunes. And then some man comes up to me and says, yeah, this is good, but you're playing the Ghana stuff. Play some Niger stuff.
Pressure.
I said, what? What? How am I supposed to know the difference? So, is there a big difference? Is there a big difference, or in the Afrobeats community, in the Afrobeats parties, do they separate the styles? Obviously, in a multi-genre rave, you just hear everything mixed together.
Yeah, there's you gotta remember subcultures, man. Like within everything, there's subcultures. Through my experience, if you go to a Ghanaian party and you're playing at a party that's Ghanaian, you can play Ghanaian music and you can play Nigerian music. If you go to a party that's predominantly Nigerian, they pretty much just want to hear Nigerian stuff, and then maybe 1 or 2 Ghanaian tracks that are hot right now that may be a bit more commercial. But if you're the Nigerian parties, they don't really want to listen to like Ghanaian music like that. Like just like Americans with hip hop, they're not really listening to hip hop from other countries when they have their own.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Quite close off. It's not the every party, but I say most parties are like that.
Yeah,
I can even tell you from experience. So I played at it was a traditional wedding. Fats, you was even there because it was your wife's people. So obviously they asked me for the traditional Nigerian songs. Like I'm talking about the real old school Nigerian songs, and I had a lot of new school stuff. But naturally, as a Ghanaian, I always draw for. I just draw for Ghanaian selection. It is what it is. You understand? I had aunties coming to me, almost sticking on me, saying, "Where's the Niger stuff?" You understand? Like literally all out sticking on me. And whereas in a Ghanaian party, you won't really get that because they kind of we embrace music. You understand?
Yeah.
We embrace music from across the board. So, But then there's a story to that as well, which goes way further back. But you know, I ain't gonna take up this podcast for that.
Okay. So there's a clear distinction then.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? See, to you, just from a sound point of view, like, let me just use something like, say, okay, Sarkod, yeah, You Gonna Kill Me, and say a WizKid track or something.
Yeah.
Can you see that distinction?
You know what? In saying it, I like having listened to it, having a bit of more of an understanding. I can, but there's still a part of me that is like, I couldn't. If somebody was to just play a random song, I don't think I'll have the ear to say, yeah, without it being a popular artist. Because now I'm starting to know who's from where. So I know Sarkodie's Ghanaian, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so WizKid's Nigerian. And so once I start to know the names,
not even just from a country, like, let's say you can define, okay, that's a Nigerian song, or that's, but can you tell the difference just from in terms of how it sounds, not in terms of what?
No.
Okay.
But I don't think I've studied it enough to be able to hear the difference. And I think I don't want to be able to hear the difference, to be honest, because I like the fact that it's. You see, look, I'm very, very, very Afrocentric. Like, so I love everything about Africa. Do you get what I'm saying? So I love the fact that it seems so united.
There is that, but I'm just using an example of the one that you gave when you played at the girl's birthday party. She was saying that, she wants to hear more Nigerian. Not to say that you want to go out and say, right, I want to be a Nigerian DJ, but you know that when you're in a dance that wants predominantly Nigerian, because some of these parties, see, like, some of these aunties can give you pressure. And when they stick it on you to play, you know what I mean, their music, it's like you're proper going down your archives, and sometimes they want only a particular 3 artists of that country. So not even just a whole night. They want particular 3 artists sometimes. So that's what I'm just mean by in terms of, can you notice the difference when it comes to things like that?
Literally, that auntie I'm talking about stuck it on me like Mandem. It was that bad. Yeah. Worse than Mandem.
It gets like that.
Remember, she raised the Mandem, you know, so she's better than them.
Can I ask you, look, what? So obviously, there's people that probably they might not know anything about Afrobeats per se. Yeah. What are the because Neptizzle just mentioned it as well. What are the subgenres within Afrobeats?
Okay, so you got let's say Ghanaian pop music, high life, hip life. There's that. Then you got the Nigerians, Niger pop, Afrobeats, and then you got Altair, which is a different kind of sound within that don't really fuck with the Afrobeat side too much, because it's not poppy enough, so they don't really get let in the door like that, so they create their own little thing. And it's more sort of like R&B hip hop sounding as well. And they don't really use the kind of rhyming patterns that someone like the band would use. You know what I mean? Where it's quite repetitive and you're not really saying anything. And then you have a host of all like different countries as well within that. Afrobeats is a very broad term. You know what I mean? And then you got, you know.
I feel like was a term coined literally to group all of these African genres of music.
100%. I feel like that's how it came. Like on flyers, if it wasn't a night centered around African music, no night is gonna have hip hop, R&B, bashment, funky house, hip life, high life, Niger beats. Like they're just gonna call it Afrobeats, and then you just know there's gonna be African music playing at that party as well.
So basically, all those subgenres technically are genres in themselves. So
they are genres in themselves.
It's an umbrella statement for all of those genres, basically.
Yeah.
It's almost like the debate that people have about grime. Like,
what I want to say about that is, with regards to all of those genres under African music, it's very deep, because there's some sounds that you hear from Nigerian artists, but it could be as little as the way the guitar sounds, right? So it could be a guitar sound that has, you know, a Congolese flavor, or it could have a guitar sound that has like a Senegalese flavor, right? So they flip that, or they've merged it into a drum pattern that sounds Nigerian or Ghanaian, and then they we added a bass line that sounds high life. So it's literally blending all of these genres of music together. But if you're to sit down and really say this sound is from this country, this sound is from this country, it'll be long. So they literally, blend it together. And it's about which genre in Africa is the most popular at the time. So always been at first, before even Afrobeats, the name was termed, they used to just call it Niger pop or high life or hip life or whatever. And then they just literally grouped it into that. But all of those genres of music were tapping into different, vibes. Even South African house, it got to a point where they literally slap it under Afrobeats. But the South Africans actually don't term their music as Afrobeats. They stay far, far, far away from that. The same with Congolese music. They keep it far, far away from there, whether it's Bukale or if it's Kisomba. So Afrobeats is just a way that has been coined because it was getting so popular.
Okay.
And a lot of the mainstream lot were catching on to the vibe, and they were like, we like all of this music. It's so much. What do we really call it? It's literally the Afrobeats thing.
It's either that or world music.
Yeah. I heard,
I hate that term.
I think it was D-Boy. He was on a like a documentary, and they were saying Afrobeat. Afrobeats with the S on the end.
Was that when he interviewed Burna Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Saying something like Afrobeat is what it was called, but Afrobeats was born in the UK or something like that.
Do you know what? That
Afrobeats is a Nigerian genre of music that was coined by Tony Allen and Fela Kuti. But there are always debates on the fact that Fela Kuti and Tony Allen took that from Abel Taylor from Ghana. So there's always been this back and forth of who started this, who started that. But traditionally, Afrobeat is, Fela Kuti is popularly known to be one of the pioneers of that genre of music. And with that genre of music, it's a very traditional sound. So it's very talkative. It's got a lot of horns in there. And it's just a lot of presence of the horns and the message that was in there. Because, Fela was more of an activist. Now, the Afrobeats, they just added the S to it because it's kind of like, okay, Afrobeats is this particular Afrobeat sound plus other sounds that have this African vibe.
Okay.
Usually blending all of these sounds together to make it is what it is.
Okay, so what would you guys say? How monumental is the UK in the rise of Afrobeats globally?
So with that, I think Jules said earlier, a lot of us go home and come back with the latest sounds. Over the years, that's played a big part in it because, not just DJs as well, people in general, when they're going out in the clubs or listening on the radio, they're hearing what's happening out there. And they come back with a whole heap of music on their playlist. Same way we come back from the motherland with a whole heap of music in our crates, for example. Do you understand? So that's played a large part in it, I would say. Anyway,
I think the UK is the most important part of Afrobeats, African music, Afrobeats, whatever, reaching the rest of the world. I think we were that kind of
neutral.
It's almost like a filter. It's like, you know what I mean? We took all the stuff that we kind of feel like, okay, this works abroad, right? We packaged it. We had, radio shows out here. Like Afrobeats was getting played on the radio and stuff. And then it kind of opened up more to other parts of Europe and also America eventually. They finally kind of caught onto it. It's a hard country to crack because it's so big, but there's been loads of people that I've spoken to from America, Canada and stuff, and they were like we used to listen to UK radio shows, Afrobeat shows in the UK to kind of get our kind of fix of Afrobeats, like, you know what I mean? So there was a lot of countries outside of Africa, the diaspora, they will look into like the way we packaged it, and you know, like, so I think the UK is, and we're what, 5 hours away from Ghana, Nigeria, 5-6 hours.
And you know as well, to add to what Nep's saying, it's like, if you remember, there was a point where UK radio had the most. If you look at South Africa itself, we had the most amount of DJs on primetime slots pushing the genre, not just nationally, internationally. I remember being on Top, getting listeners from as far as, what's that French island, Martinique. Martinique, random. I didn't even know it was until the person messaged me saying, "Yo, locked in from Martinique on Top days." You understand? So like, our reach is long, and even when I've gone to Amsterdam, where I've played quite a lot, Neptizzle can vouch for that. They listen, they follow what we're doing. Not so much now, but there was a point where UK really we raised the bar in terms of how it's packaged and put out there, 100%.
And then they did their own thing. The way we have our Afro swing or UK Afrobeats, whatever, they have their Dutch Afrobeats.
Oh yeah.
Artists. And they're charting with that sound as well.
Listen, don't get it twisted.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Even I feel like even the influence on sort of like French Afrobeats as well. Like a Congolese 9-minute track isn't making it in the French charts, but it's almost like they've taken the kind of Afrobeats formula and then they've added their French lingo on it. But you know what I mean? Like, you know the song that they made for when France won the World Cup, right? That's an Afrobeats track. Yeah.
The recent World Cup, obviously.
Yeah. That's an Afrobeats track. That, you know what I mean? That's a high life sound. That's the sound. You know, DJ Breezy he started with kind of like Tonga. Like, you know what I mean? It's that rhythm, man, and that rhythm has been hot. It's still hot now. Every track's using that rhythm still.
I think it's I think the UK has been monumental. When I went to Ghana, I was with a Branty, and he was like a superstar. They would like, we was in a club and like they were just proper, they just loved it. I think I don't know who. I'm not saying that everyone just was all over him, but like the people that seemed influential in that place were like all over him, and I'm thinking, raw, this is a UK DJ. In my mind, I'm like, he's come, like he was on the flyer, just him one and guest, and the dance was run. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't even know, like Neptizzle, as I say, I've known of him for years. Held him in high esteem. Maestro. There's a couple more that I've always thought, oh no, they fly the flag properly. And I definitely think that across the world, yeah, man, UK definitely had a part to play, man. And in terms of sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, like, even Mr. Easy one time I remember we were talking, and he was telling me about when he went to America. He was shocked that Afrobeat hadn't. This is about maybe 4 years ago when he first came to the UK, and he passed for America quickly, came back, and he was saying, "Nah, bro, UK is the hub outside of Africa for Afrobeats." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Bro, America haven't got nothing on the UK." That was
America's. You got to remember, we've been doing this so I've been doing it for about 2007, right? And there was the generation, like the 90% and stuff, that were doing it before with us, right? Or that's probably your time, actually. So,
I was a kid for them. Listen, you know what?
What's that? You said that? What's they called, the 90% hit squad? Yeah.
90% hit squad. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them.
You're Nep. That's how I know you're a Spurs fan, you know. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I mean, what? It's been moving here for what? Maybe 20. Possibly about 20 years, all right?
Yeah.
America is probably, it's not even, you got to remember, America's a big country, and then you got split up into states. So then the places that are going to be popping, I heard the DMV is popping, so DC, Maryland, Virginia, that's popping, has a large African community. New
York's popping, yeah.
New York's popping. LA is emerging. And then you got places like pockets. You got Houston, which is full of like Nigerians because of the oil and stuff. So there's loads of Nigerians down there. So it's getting there slowly. It will never really take over the whole country, but there's pockets.
You never know, bro. These days, you never know.
But it was good to see Afrobeat being so embraced there, and I think because he's so close to home, you can get to see firsthand how they're dealing with it. You get what I'm saying? So when Jules can let us know in a couple of years when he's got that Beyonce money, if he can let us know how they're embracing it.
But even you know what? See, you know what? Because you just said that though, even Beyonce, you have to remember, Beyonce's used Afrobeats in her performances.
Yeah.
Like she produced her album with Afrobeat artists, Afrobeat artists.
You get what I'm saying? So
hold on, Fats. Jules is saying something.
No, I was just saying, don't forget like the whole Lion King soundtrack. Afrobeats produced, body of work. They had Burna Boy on there. She even went to South Africa. She had Wizkid on there. You know what I'm saying? Shatta Wale is like a big deal, for Shatta Wale and Beyonce. That's mad. That's what I'm saying. The problem is when things like that happen, we don't capitalize on it properly because those are kind of like massive moments for the culture. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we downplay those things. I remember when the project got nominated, even for like a Grammy. You had people doubting the whole thing. Like when the Shatta Wale was nominated for a Grammy, people were mocking the whole thing. It was like, what Grammy has he been nominated for? Because they haven't seen his name in the category. So I'm just thinking, like, there's a lot of illiteracy with regards to that. And then furthermore, it's like sometimes our people are not really happy about what we're trying to do to push the country forward. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so frustrating sometimes. But at the same time, we can't really blame them because there's a lot of illiteracy. There's a lot of greed as well. So it's an agenda that we've been, trying to fight for years. But I mean, saying that, like Afrobeats is African music has been big. Do you know what I'm saying? Forget Wizkid, forget Burna and all them people there. Angelique Kidjo and Bella Kuti and Yusu Du and all of these guys, they've been massive impactful African artists who've been doing stuff for crazy people like Wyclef, and the Fugees back in the day. And Angelique Kidjo is one of the 4 or 5 Grammys. But
what about Daddy? What's his name? Daddy Lumba. Is that his name?
Lumba.
Is he big? Because when I was in Ghana, my friend's dad, that was who he was playing.
No, Daddy Lumba is a god in Ghana. He's a god. Like, go to any funeral. That's what they're playing over there.
He walks on gold, literally. He walks on gold.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, guys, I want to ask you a lot of questions now. Yeah, before I want to talk about Afro Wave and get and kind of understand, what you guys class as Afro Wave and what is it. But I want to know, because he mentioned Shatta Wale, I'm thinking now Shatta Wale is the dancehall king in the world, Ghana. How big is dancehall's influence on Afrobeats?
Massive.
And do you think that reggae and dancehall get the praise and the recognition for some of the influence that it has?
Of course.
Yeah, because even when you look at the Shatta track that you even mentioned, like, Shatta calls himself dancehall king, like in his music and in his bio on his Instagram page and stuff like that. They always show homage to the sounds, whether that being Shatta Wale, whether that being Stonebwoy, whether that being Samini. There's even certain places, I mean, in Ghana, like, there's a beach called Tawala. I'm not sure if you went there, see, but there's certain places where they
smoke the weed.
Yeah. But the unity that and the respect that is shown. I felt the same even with Telelai when I went to Jamaica and I went to Okropong, a place, the Maroon Town. You know what I mean? There's that kind of homage and respect and just I don't know, it's just a certain kind of unity between Jamaicans and Ghanaians. And that's where they really unite stronger than ever. So when it comes to the music now, they're going to big up their fellow Jamaica, or they're going to big up the fellow genre which they're inspired by, which has infused their music.
That Jamaica-Ghana connection dates back in history, because transatlantic trades, and when they came to Africa, they shipped quite a number of Ghanaian cans to Jamaica. So if you go to Jamaica, there's certain villages, like, Han was saying, if the Ekopong Maroon area, they've also got a village called a Champong. So the Jamaicans, there are some Jamaicans that actually practice the same ritual that Ashantis and Akans actually well,
and it goes sorry to correct you, it goes so deeper than what we really think it is. It's not just the Shatawales and the Stoneboys, like Jules is kind of saying. Like, there are certain instruments. Jules, what's that horn called? At funerals, that horn that they use back home.
It's the one used to call.
Yes.
I'll find the name.
Yeah, so there's a certain horn which is any funeral that you go back home, you go into like deep into some of the towns and villages and stuff that they use when someone passes away. Jamaica, they use the same thing. You understand? Like, even when you look at some of our Kente outfits, there are symbols which is from Jamaica, which is on our Kente outfit. So the culture is so deeper than dancehall king and the dancehall music and stuff like that. That's why, like I said, that homage that you're talking about, or should I say, them just bigging up the fellow Jamaicans, they always make sure that they do it, because it's not just, it goes beyond music.
Yeah. The only reason I asked that, because I do believe that there is, as I say, myself, I'm from, my parents Jamaican, but, I did have this great affiliation with Ghana. Even in the part of Jamaica where my family are from, there's a place called Moortown. They speak the Maroon language is
Romantic.
Yeah, and it's so close, this to Ghanaian. But what I mean is, yes, there's heavily influenced music, but the separation for the ravers is crazy. Like, do you get what I'm saying? There's still at there's only a certain acceptable, if it's an Afrobeats dance, when bashment and dancehall are played, I don't know if it gets the same love. And it's just the same as if you're in a dancehall rave and you put on some Afrobeats. It doesn't, like that unity that I would like to see, I don't see amongst the ravers. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I think now it's different, though.
But you say that, but you wouldn't hear Shatta Wale in a dancehall dance, and he's got tunes.
But you might hear some Afrobeats now, and it doesn't clear the dance floor in a dancehall rave, as you would hear some dancehall in an Afrobeats rave, and it probably wouldn't clear the dance floor too. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to a few years ago, where that wasn't happening. Like, he wasn't there, none of them.
But
like,
for example,
none of them. You know what I mean?
For example, you see Epic Jones, that tune that he's got with Spice, Cool It Down. Yeah, I don't know if you lot know it, but that tune with Spice, that rhythm track, the first ever artist he put on it was Shatta Wale, and it didn't do anything. Nobody supported it. He then put, after Shatta Wale, he put Conscience on it, and it started to get a little bit of noise. And then once he put Spice on it, it blew. But the point is, the rhythm has been cold from the start. I just felt like they didn't identify with it because it was Shatta Wale.
Shatta Wale doesn't identify as a dancehall artist amongst the traditional Jamaican. Shatta Wale's songs, despite the fact that he's calling himself the dancehall king in Ghana, when you actually listen to his sound, it's not actually dancehall music. He's just rapping and singing in Tree and Nga with a patois sort of delivery or accent. You understand? There are a few patois words in there, and obviously he's come to Jamaica, same as Stoneboy. They've come to Jamaica. They've probably learned the language. They've added their own twist to it, and then they've made things a little different. But they won't. You can't literally call them dancehall artists. Like, if you're talking about dancehall artists, they won't identify that amongst Jamaicans. So Jamaicans, when they're thinking of dancehall artists, they're thinking of Supercat, they're thinking about Buju Banton, they're thinking about Vibes, they're thinking about Mubado, those type of people from the real Jamaica. Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy themselves have tried to build that relationship by coming to Jamaica, but it just doesn't work like that. It's like saying, if Vibes Cartel was to come to Ghana and he's done a couple of tunes with Daddy Lumba where he's singing High Life. As much as Vibes Cartel is going to try to sing High Life, we're going to identify as a High Life artist because that's not what it is.
I think Vibes Cartel could do it. You know, that's the world boss. You know, he can do anything. He can do anything.
But you know what? See, I think what we need to also understand is that, remember, we're second generation, so we are still, if you want to say, educating. Like Fat said, like back in the day when Afrobeats used to clear a dance floor, at least, you know what I mean, there are more people that are appreciating the sound. Like when you go to, for example, you go to Ghana in December, you see so many people who are not Ghanaians and enjoying African Afrobeats music, dancehall artists, stuff like that. They're appreciating the culture. Yeah. Then after they appreciate the culture, they then begin to appreciate the artist. I know that come 20 years time, come 30 years time, our kids, they're going to be in a rave. And they're going to be appreciating both cultures. Do you understand? And I just feel like we're the people that's not going to kind of see the works that we're doing now. We're not going to benefit from it. You know what I mean? We went through that when we play an Afrobeat song, everyone moves off the dance floor. Then 50 years time, everyone's going to then benefit from it.
Yeah. I think Burna Boy had quite a big effect in kind of merging a bit of like dancehall and Afrobeats in a way. Because he uses certain slang, and then obviously he uses certain slang from the UK as well. So it kind of bridges all of them in one. Because something like Ye is like a dance, that's massive in a dance. Yeah. That's as big in a dancehall rave as Idonia, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you say that, right? Stone has also been trying to do that thing for years. Merging, you know, High Life or, you know, Ghanaian music with the dancehall, but it never really worked as well. So why did it work for Burna as compared to working for Stonebwoy? Is it because there's a massive country and they make a lot of noise, or is it because Ghana is small and I don't get it.
In Burna's case, I don't think he was doing it, and obviously I'm not saying that anyone's here saying that, but I don't think it was a conscious thing. He's very much like, even if you said to him, you know, you got dance or this, he'll probably be like, nah, he's just being himself. You see where I'm coming from? So like,
I don't think so. I think he definitely, remember he had a tune, the diggity dun, the dun, like that is proper, like that whole, even the word, the dun gargan, that's Ninja Man kind of thing. Like he's definitely very influenced. But what I think he did was, I think the style of music that he makes in compared to Stonebwoy is what it's the crossover. It's so easy to cross over. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like, so Stonebwoy is still very much like, because even in the Afrobeats world, his tunes don't get played as much. Like, as I'm not sure about the Afrobeats, but his tunes definitely ain't as big as, because he still makes more traditional type of music. Do you get what I'm saying? It's still I don't think he's hit the new wave, and I think that's what Burna Boy's done.
Sometimes it's just down to the eyes. You know what I mean? Like, Stonebwoy might not be the one; it might be someone that comes after him that does it better. But I think with the Burna Boy thing, he's benefited a lot from being raised in London as well. Right. So he knows UK street life, right? He knows what it's about. He's probably grown up alongside. Well, he grew up in like South, so he probably grew up in like loads of like Caribbeans, right? Hence his so he's experiencing the Caribbeans firsthand. You know what I mean? So he has that. Whereas Stonebwoy has probably spent most of his life in Ghana. And the only people he really sees probably like the odd Rasta here and there, which you don't know which ones are Jamaicans and which ones are just
you don't know. You don't know which ones are Jamaicans and which ones the Selecta Maestros. You don't know which ones. You don't know. What about someone like Busy Signal then? You know, like he's done a lot of Afrobeat songs and stuff like, you know, like on the exact same beats. So like, you know, personally, and then even professionally. Did that do anything in the Afrobeats world? Did anybody play it?
Is he still around?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay. You
Hey,
can't say that too loud.
One phone call.
But I hear what Hamke is saying though. Busy Signal is old school.
What?
He's
He's got one of the biggest tunes in dancehall right now.
No, but that's old though. That is old though, fans. It's like 3 years old.
One phone call. That's not old.
It's
That
old.
goes
It's about two. It's 2018.
But that goes off right now. 2
Yeah, but
years
it's
ago.
2018, bro. It's
That's
2018.
not old.
That's something slow, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It takes a while for dancehall to catch on, bro. That song Dexter Daps, Breaking News, didn't that come out last year or 2 years ago?
No, Breaking News is a new song.
But it can't be this year. It's definitely not this year.
Yeah, Breaking News is new.
Yeah, but Shabba Motherpot is still one of the biggest tunes in dancehall right now.
No, but the thing is, you know what it is? They're looking. Sorry.
Start slowly here.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, in my opinion, anyway.
I think what we're doing is we're looking at dancehall. When we're speaking tunes like that, we're looking at dancehall from a multi-genre perspective. Because in the dancehall world, in Jamaica, one phone call don't play, Shabba Motherpot don't play. They play all the new shots.
They will still play those pieces.
Bro,
Those are foundation.
If you went to a real yardie dance, you know the ones where you'd be scared.
No, they're still gonna play. They're just gonna play a new school set, but they're still gonna play their big tunes.
That's their warm-up music, man. That's if they play them. But that's like me. That's like me playing. If I tell you, like it will go off in certain places. But I'm sure Neptizzle ain't played that in a while.
I'll play if I'll play that song if the place is full of white people and Caribbeans.
There you go. You see what I'm saying, first? Don't get your multi-genre self twisted up.
They're still gonna play that, bro.
Bro, you can't. The thing is, this is what I'm saying. This is why we like. Let me tell you why we like to speak to specialists on this show, yeah, because we're multi-genre. So everything like we kind of skim the surface on most things, and we like play the really popular stuff, and music hangs around for ages. Do you get what I'm saying? If I did an Afrobeat set in a multi-genre party, or if I was doing one of these weekenders, them sets usually fall on me.
Right.
So I'll do that. But I know if there was some like Afrobeat specialist here, they'd be looking at me like, "What are you doing, bro?" You get what I'm saying? Because some of the tunes I'm drawing for, I know a Neptizzle or a Maestro ain't playing this in a proper set.
That's how I feel when I play like dancehall.
Yeah.
You play one phone call, yeah? You play one phone call.
I don't even know what that is yet.
He say he's playing dude and that.
No, not that bad. Not that bad. Give it a light, bro.
Yeah, give me that love.
You know what's funny? I still draw for that. Give me the light, bro. And it bangs in certain crowds.
In certain crowds. All right, Neptizzle, let me ask you a question then, yeah? Because obviously we've got to address the elephant in the room. This is what we do. Now, everybody must ask, like, how did you get into Afrobeats? Tell me your history. Like, where are you from? Where?
Oh, my parents are from Vietnam. They moved here, had me. So I'm like first generation.
Yeah.
Is it first or second generation? One of the first.
Yeah.
And I grew up in, like, most of my life I grew up in Hackney, which is African and Caribbean Central. You know what I mean? Like all my friends in school, I could count how many Asian people like in my year. So everyone, like, from the get, like, society-wise, I was just stuck with black people, I guess.
It's not a bad place to be stuck, by the way.
At all.
Lovely. But well.
And then through friends, so I was playing, like, I love grime, East London, Hackney times, Deja Vu, you know what I mean? It was all about grime. It was all about grime. So that was like my kind of like first love in music, like my own passion was grime music. And then grime kind of went out, vinyls went out. And then it was like I was kind of like a DJ that didn't really have anything to play apart from, you know, to be a mixed genre DJ. You play like hip hop, R&B, and dancehall.
Yeah.
And then I came across this is how the connection with Ghana happened. Is I came across African music via Ghana. You know what I mean? And I was given something to play at a party. for a graduation party. It was a Ghanaian party. Played it that night, and I've never looked back since, man. Like, it's just
shout out to Ronnie Blue.
you know what? Off that booking, because it was a house party, like Ronnie Blue booked me off that house party.
Yeah.
And that time I didn't even have no music like that. I probably had like one CD.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like one CD of music, 20 tracks. On the CD it was like Kiss the Bride and Asso and stuff like that.
Big tune.
16 years. So that was like how it started, and then kind of from there, man. Like the energy that you got when you played that type of music was switched like that. And then like I found something that I enjoyed, and it wasn't too heavily violent the way grime was, because grime was like a mandem genre, man. The girls, they don't know that. You know what I mean? And it was something I just fell in love with, man. Started.
It's a good look, man. It's a good look. You know what? It's refreshing to see that. You know, I like when people, you know, adopt other cultures and do stuff. So it's good, and you're actually good. You know, like I'm sure some people will look at you as a gimmick, and then when they actually see you perform and listen to you, they're like, "Bro, you know what? This guy's dope." But that's what it's like with anything. That's what it's like with anything.
You know, let me add a story to that as well. Yeah. So I remember I was in Ghana 2010. Right? That was the year. Remember that club, Citizen Kofi?
Yeah.
So I think wait. Yeah, I think I've told you this story before. I'm not sure if I have, but at that time, that's when the music in Ghana was changing. So like, it went from it was going through the hip life phase and becoming a bit more modern. What we know now.
Afrobeats, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I remember I got me and my cousin were walking through, like we were drunk as hell, walking through, and I remember like on the top floor, my eyes went to the DJ booth. Then I saw, obviously I know he's from Vietnam now, but at the time I was like, what's that Oriental man doing behind the booth? Like I thought he was a technician or something. I'm being rude.
I said they drawn for the technician. Yeah. The deck's broken. Let's call that guy. He can fix it.
But then, and the thing is, I got to add as well. My cousin, no. I knew the name Neptizzle. I'd heard the name. I'd heard the name enough times, but I never put the face to it. So I never even to hear he was from Vietnam. It was like the furthest from my brain. So yeah. So I went to my cousin. Who's that guy spinning them tunes there? And he's based in Ghana. He knew Neptizzle. And then I remember I looked over and I was just watching the whole night. I thought, bruh, if he can play Afrobeat like that, I've got no excuse. So I came back, and I think that's what, on the back of that, Afrobeats Takeover was born.
Right. You inspired. Hey, bro.
And it's not. Hold on. It's not that I wasn't going to do it anyway. But then I figured if the music can inspire him that much, I've got no excuse.
Yeah.
Sound like you might owe him some money though, bro. Like, just say.
Tallying it up, you know.
I'm
writing it all down.
But you know what it is? Because he's a Spurs fan, he won't get a penny from me.
Oh yeah. No, that's bad. Because I even went to a wedding this year in Croydon. I went to a wedding this year, and he was playing Afrobeats, but he played Afrobeats the whole time.
Yeah.
Old school, new school. I was thinking, how? Hours. Remember it? It was in the Hilton in Croydon. Maybe about. No, I don't. It wasn't this year. It might have been October or November.
He ain't gonna remember that. He's had loads of bookings.
Yeah, but anyway, it was the Hilton, and he played. I'm talking, you know, like you see, like you get booked for. If I was to be booked for a reggae party, I could play reggae, revival, bashment, this, that. Like you can stay in the genre of reggae, because to me, it's got all them years. I didn't know you could play so many flipping hours of Afrobeats and just be good. So yeah, now big up Neptizzle, man.
When you say, you said how, were you saying how in a sense where
to my mind, to my limited knowledge, in my head, I didn't think that there was so much music. Okay. Don't get me wrong, it's ignorant. I'm not saying that. Don't get angry with me. I see you twisting your beard, getting vexed. It's ignorant. It's ignorance.
No,
because
you know what? No. Why I'm just saying that is because when I just really deep it just shows, and that like goes back to my statement about we're still educating, because when you look at even like back in the day, like Ghana independence, Nigerian independence, you can have Ghana independence at Stratford Rexdale Day used to finish at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. From 10 a.m. till 6 a.m. 8 hours, there will be just Ghanaian music. Do you understand? And even if it's just say the high life, hip life music, even in high life, there's like 40 to 50 different sounds of high life in itself. You know what I mean? So you can do 20 hours of high life music, you know what I mean, and take them through a musical journey, like with a Bogger high life, there's so many sounds, and that's just within high life. And this ain't even, if you want to say Afrobeats from Congo, West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, all of those stuff. So to do a 6-hour wedding and just play Afrobeats, for me, that's like, fam, like you must have just played top 10 music of each country.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But because you know it, but that's like you see sometimes. Yeah, if you were to go and listen to a man play reggae music, for 6 hours, and not hear Sanchez, not hear Beres, not hear debate reggae artists that you might know.
No,
then you can
no, because you know why. See, like I don't know. Personally, for me, there's a lot of similarity in music. So like you say, so something like say high life is very similar, depending on what kind of high life, it's very similar to like reggae music and stuff like that. So even when I go to a friend's house and they're just on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning, they're cleaning up and they're playing reggae music and I'm listening to their radio station and stuff like that, and I don't hear, if you're going to say your Sanchez, your Beres Hammond and stuff like that, I can still gravitate to the music and really understand that, right, like this is actually a big tune, even though I don't know the artist, I don't know the name of the track, but I can just feel the music.
But aren't you pleasantly surprised that you can play, that they can play 4 hours of reggae and not play any of the debate artists and it still be good? Aren't you pleasantly surprised?
Maybe when I was probably like 14.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing, because reggae has been more predominant in the UK. For me, hearing 6 hours of Afrobeats, I've never heard that before, and I tell you that I love the thing, but I'm talking about not bait, not just new stuff. I'm talking like he had aunties on the floor, then the youngsters on the floor, and then just constant, and the vibe never died. And I'm thinking, this is mad to me. This is mad to me. But that's me not having such depth knowledge of it.
It's deep, man. It's deep, and then you got to remember there's gospel stuff.
Jules is talking, but we can't hear you, bro.
No, I was saying it's just it's just different cultures. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Ghanaian, like just what like Uncle said with Ghanaian music, high life. We go way back to the 60s. We can start playing 60s, then we can start playing 70s and 80s. That's literally 2-3 hours already. Go into the 90s, then we go into the hip life, and we finish off with like the modern Afrobeats or modern Ghanaian music. Just probably the same with reggae music. And we go all the way back to like Freddie McGregor, or we go to like flipping Dennis Brown. Before we even get to like the likes of Bob Marley and and then going down to the Marley Brothers. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like all those cultures literally have those eras where you can all of that music all together. I think it's the same. It's just that we both probably don't have that extensive knowledge of each other's cultures.
And I think that's why it's so important for DJs as well. A lot of the time, that's why I don't blame Nept when he doesn't play those bait tunes, because I think DJs have a responsibility to entertain, but more importantly, to also educate. Because when you ask a lot of people, they'll turn around and say to you, okay, I want a high life track. And when you say, okay, what high life track? They'll turn around and say Daddy Lumba or something like that. But Daddy Lumba was way after. Like, there are so many people before him that are the high life gods. You understand? That really started the sound and was traveling back and forth from Ghana to Nigeria.
Charles Amwa.
I said again, Maest?
Charles Amwa was the Daddy Lumba before Daddy Lumba.
Hey, Charles Amwa, even before that, like E.T. Metz, all of these people before that, those were that really started the sound, like the Ramblers band and stuff like that, when only people that had money can listen to high life music. That's why I got the name High Life.
Pat Thomas as well.
Oh, wow. That's a story. Was it people that lived the high life could listen to high life, basically?
Yeah, literally.
Wow. So when you go to a high life dance back in the day, you had to go suited and booted, rude boy. You couldn't just come in and you had to look the part, high life.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. You know what I want to ask, yeah? I need you guys to be honest now. Who won out of Vibes Cartel and Wizkid?
Okay, I'm gonna start this.
No bias thing. Don't use your
this.
numbers to win.
No. That battle was an absolute nonsense, and it should have never happened, because you're comparing two artists who
different careers,
different careers,
different time.
Even Vibes' catalog alone, as big as Wiz is, you can't even talk to that. Do you understand? And I think the people that put that battle together, big them up. They've built their platform and it works, whatever. But clearly, I think they got excited and just did it. It's not even a fair clash. It's like literally putting David and Goliath. Obviously, this time David ain't winning. Do you understand? It's not even a case of winning.
I disagree with you, bro. You know what it is? I feel like you're both titans in what they do, but it goes back to the conversation we're having. Just as, C was saying, it's mad to him that we can be playing Ghanaian music for more than 6 to 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys playing reggae music for more than 5 to 6 hours, right? You guys are familiar with a particular sound. I can guarantee you, that Wizkid and Vibes Cartel clash, there were loads of songs that were played by the person representing Vibes that loads of Africans didn't know. Just as loads of songs that the person representing Wizkid was playing, loads of the Caribbeans didn't know. It just didn't make sense culturally.
And where I disagree again is a lot of Africans follow Vibes, and a lot of songs from Vibes were not represented in that clash. So if the only way for me that would have worked is if, let's say for example, they drew C6 versus myself, Nep, or Juls. We're well versed in the music to bring forward a fair situation, so we can all hear who's got what, boom. But then if you've got someone that doesn't know the artist well enough, knows their catalog well enough, it's not going to even be represented well enough. So that's where, for me, I didn't really buy it.
I think no matter what you would have done, you could have picked Wizkid's 10 worst songs and Vibes' 10 best songs. Wizkid still would have won because Nigeria have 880 million population, bro.
And that too, yeah.
And you're setting yourself up to kind of fail. If you're doing a numbers thing, it's just never gonna work.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Where it was like a proper like culture clash where we literally in an arena and there was a clash between them two. This kid is not seeing it. This kid is not seeing that. This is fact. Because the clashes, it's a Caribbean culture.
Yeah.
It comes with dub plates and all of those things as well.
Yeah.
So it just didn't
Entertainment.
for me to hear someone playing Wizkid, Paco and more, and then I'm hearing Vibes Cartel,
Bicycle.
or
They didn't even play Bicycle.
or you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for me because don't forget, even in the dance, traditionally, maybe with DJing, it was always be the old school hip hop, whatever. Then we'll come to the bashment side of things.
Yeah.
Bashment before you get to Afrobeats, they're two different sounds. It didn't make sense. Just like the Burna Boy and Popcorn clash. It didn't make sense to me either.
Don't make no sense. You're right.
Yeah.
Caribbeans versus African thing. And it just went left because people started cussing each other's moms and dads. And
it started getting silly. I will say though, in terms of the clashing thing, Harmk represented Afrobeats for many times and was slaughtering up the place when it was Afrobeats versus Bashment in the Wahala clash.
But even with that, like it was fun. Don't get to then it's all banter because it was a clash in a comedy show, so it wasn't that serious, innit? But more importantly, look, I've done that clash 3 times, and I only won that clash once because of the entertainment element that we brought to it, not necessarily the music. And remember, Wahala, that show is I can easily say 80% of the people that walk through the doors are Caribbean. So already I'm walking into a clash that I know that is going to be very, very hard to even get their attention. So that's why it's only the third time I won that clash, because everything we tried on the 2 other events, it didn't work. Trying to get them, trying to do this, trying to do that, it didn't work.
But that's the thing. That's why I give you test. That's why I'm saying for the fact that you did win when everything was against you, including the numbers, showed that you had what it takes. Obviously, when you clashed me, you lost, but differently.
I still beat you.
You're mad. Bro, I'm the most, other than that, no, I do think like you smashed it though, because the odds were against you, and you smashed it. Like, to me, just the vibe alone, that made me like you won 10 times over, because it's like one of them things where you have to be, in order to win that, you got to be 10 times better. So
I mean, like people saying, like, it just comes down to educating people. Like that clash, I knew a lot of the times when I was even coming there that, you know, it's going to be bare Caribbeans, I'm not going to win this, but just being able to reach out or bring our culture in front of Caribbeans for people then to either give me a follow on Instagram, and then really then, if I'm just from seeing me at that clash, makes them go to Africa or download an African mix CD. For me, that's where the win is, not necessarily on stage. Because at the end of the day, the stage, like I said, it was just entertainment at the end of the day on stage.
Yeah, no, I respect it.
I can liken that to even me being on Top. So if you remember prior to Afrobeats Takeover coming to On Top, it was primarily a dancehall station, R&B, hip hop, garage, everything else except anything related to African music. I remember getting texts on the studio line saying, "Oh, come off the radio playing that rubbish." Boom, 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 boom. I mean, I'm a stubborn youth, you understand? So it just made me it made me just press on. And then it turned out that the show became one of the most listened to. So you just, it's about being able to carry your culture on your back and just move.
Educate, because remember, my On Top started as the garage station. Like you will hear On Top 24/7, just garage, UK, garage, grime. Yeah. Even when they got rid of all the MCs, and then they tried to mix it up. Even some people, I think, when Stan was doing even slow jams, he was getting a few bullets. And then, you know what I mean? I think it took a while. Every time it changed. So by the time you came with Afrobeats, I'm not surprised that those are the type of messages that come. But after a while, Afrobeats Takeover was one of the top shows on the station, isn't it?
I would say so.
Yeah, it was one of the top shows, one of the top specialist shows on the station.
You know, and obviously we have to keep it was consistency. Do you understand? It's just, you know, but yeah.
We need to have a conversation about why dancehall isn't doing too well, man.
Why dancehall what?
Dancehall isn't doing too well.
Dancehall is dead. Like, it's dead. You know what it is, yeah? I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, you know, you say that, right? It's funny you say.
Oh god, C6, you're mad, you know.
I went to New York last year, right? And I went to Port 97, and I was speaking to like one big DJ in New York out there, yeah. And they literally said the same thing. They're saying dancehall is done out here. And I was thinking to myself, I don't really understand that statement, because, bro, like, the Caribbeans, when it comes to festivities and like carnival and all of those things, you guys run things. So why would you say it's dead? Because
you know what it is, yeah. You know what it is. I feel like, all right. So dancehall music, yeah, from the 80s, where you had the Super Cats, and you kind of went into the Budgies into the 90s, and you had some real strong predominant artists, and you went to the Vibes Cartels and the Mavados, and the music was heavy. It was heavy. There was substance behind it. Where of late, the last couple of years, the music is fickle. You get what I'm saying? It's got no substance. They're not making music that's gonna last. So some of the biggest songs in dancehall last 2 weeks, 2 months, and it's done. Do you get what I'm saying?
Just even when you just said that, it reminded me of when Beanie Man and Bounty Killer done the Versus clash. I think that was the highest play or listen to, or people. I think it was over 500,000 that was streaming into that or watching that, because that clash, I think it brought back what dancehall, bashment, ragga is really about. The dub plates, the entertainment, all of that factor was just all in that.
Vibe. This new stuff don't have it. The new stuff just don't have it, and the things they talk about, it's just throwaway music. So that is where dancehall's gone. I guess sometimes when it's like mumble rap, it's like
hip hop now, though.
if you look, but yeah, hip hop, yeah, mumble rap. If you looked at, if you were in the 90s, yeah, say you was in a time warp and you was in the 90s, you would never think listening to DMX, listening to Biggie, listening to Tupac, that flipping Young Thug will come out. You would never guess it. Like it wasn't like after them in the 90s, you had the 50 Cents and the Dipsets and stuff. You never saw it going down mumble rap route. And that is literally what dancehall's done. Dancehall's got its own version of mumble rap. So for me, and it still busts. Don't get me wrong. There's people like they've still got their odd 1 or 2 tunes that bust, and the dances still pop off because people would always gravitate to the music that they understand. However, someone with long history of loving dancehall, it's at its worst place for me right now.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I remember back in the day when I used to listen to dance, so like you had, was it rhythm driven CDs and vinyls?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And then you have all the artists riding the same rhythm. Like, I can listen to all 12 tracks, every different artist version, yeah? And that's why, you know, when in the Clash, when they played the Showtime rhythm, yeah?
Yes.
Fam, listen, beat it, me now, big nada, never, me down, got me thing, big jack. I was literally...
Hey, okay, the Yardi.
Yardi, you know?
Listen.
To this day, my favorite rhythm is Brockout rhythm. To this day.
Yeah.
Jules,
hold on, Jules, are you speaking? Because you
I was saying, you're talking about
go on, bro.
all of these rhythms, yeah, right? Even Buju,
yeah,
and Bounty used to be on some of these rhythms. Like I was listening to Big It Up rhythm the other day.
Yeah,
listening to that beat,
yeah,
that beat is mad.
Yeah,
thinking to myself, yo, if you play that type of music today, it's still fresh. So why do they even go back to that, bro? Buju just put out an album like 2 weeks ago. I listened to that album. I was disappointed to not hear that classic old school Buju that I know.
Yeah.
To go back to that sound because, bro, I guarantee you, if Bounty and Beanie and Buju were to go back to that particular sound and drop these tunes today, bro, they're gonna go off 100%.
Yeah. But what they need though, the thing is, what we need is we don't need Buju. Listen, Buju is my favorite artist forever, but we don't need a Buju, Beanie, Vibes Cartel. What we need is we need the youngsters to be on that kind of rhythm with that kind of energy and that. You get what I'm saying? So there's substance. Right now they got no substance. I remember being in school, tapping the table, and then just singing, and they don't like. You can't even emulate the beats that they make nowadays. You can't even. There's no substance to it.
Those men are real technicians, and the guys behind the boards are real technicians. Like guys like Tony Kelly.
Yeah, man.
Who's the other producer? Don Corleone. Even Don Corleone as well. Like they're real.
Yeah, man.
They're real technicians.
Production levels in dancehall slipped, man.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, Bobby Digital, rest in peace. He had like
Bobby Digital,
Sly and Robbie, like they made the Mission Impossible beat.
Them man were making beats with like fucking sound systems, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't have proper analog.
Yeah.
If the bass sounds a certain way, they're tweaking it to make it muffle, like proper sound engineering, bro. It's not this thing where, you know, it's a keyboard and, you know, a drum set and stuff like that. Old school sound system. Now, it doesn't sound like that anymore. It's kind of like sad. And I want to hear more of that because when someone says dancehall, or I've got a dancehall playlist, you're just going to be hearing Buju or Bounty or Sizzler and all of the old school guys, Junior Reid, all that people there. Like, I like the old school sound. This new sound, like the vibes and everything is cool, but if you're gonna go a bit deeper, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't really heard a ragga artist really rap the way that they used to rap.
Yeah. The substance is gone.
Yeah,
it's gone. But you know what? In saying that, make one.
Yes.
Big man thing, make one.
He's made one.
What? I'll jump on it. Like we make peace together. My Jamaican accent's all right.
I made a rhythm like that, and I took my time to make it sound a particular way because, bro, it's not easy to be making those type of rhythms. Not easy at all. I'm listening to it. I'm like, nah, I can't have that because it sounds very whatever. So you want to add your own twist to it. You understand? But then the beat is just sitting there because I'm like, who's going to like kill this to the level of Buju or the level of Bounty and all of these people there. Literally, maybe Agent Sasko.
Yeah, he's good.
Or maybe Baby Shan.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but it's difficult. And when you even do it, is it going to be accepted? Like, is it going to be pushed? Because I feel like when you even go on like some of these social on DSPs like Spotify and Apple, when you look at the playlist, bro, these playlists haven't been updated for months, bro.
No. I saw a man the other day put a tweet that he was like in the reggae charts, and he was in the reggae charts with some Bob Marley tracks, some Beanie Man tracks from the 90s. I'm like, oh, you can't even really boast about that. UB40's in it. Like, this ain't new stuff. No.
And to be fair, even I think, I don't know, like for Juls anyway, if Juls was to make something like that, whenever Juls sends us like a new track, I kind of know, before I press play, I kind of know the kind of vibe. So I've already got my Guinness or my Calabash bowl ready because we know what he's bringing. And sometimes things like that, I don't know, it can impact your brand in a negative way. I think you can be influenced by a certain kind of sound, but to then say, okay, that sound is not there, so let me now try and fill that void, I think it can be very, very impactful in a negative way.
I hear you, but I do think sometimes you can test the waters. Like, we have some very talented dancehall artists in the UK. So we got, the likes of Stylo, we got K Moore, we got Dio, Big Zeke. Like Big Zeke's could actually really ride a rhythm. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you were to make a song and as a track and get some of the UK artists to do, like say you used to make a rhythm and then get like each of them to do a piece each and just have it and see how it goes. Like, it's not you trying to change, fill a void. It's you just being musical and putting your hand at different things, because you clearly ain't locked into anything because you've helped coin this new sound. So you're not really you're not locked into anything. You know what I mean? Don't make Harmk not. Come over.
You're just trying to take our producers in it, yeah? Just
stay
in your corner. Stay in your corner, yeah? Stop trying to take our producers. This is what you Caribbeans love doing, innit? Yeah? Stay in your corner.
It's nice over here. Come over here, man. Come over here.
The thing is, I was
planting over here. We are planting over here, man.
With Juls is, because I would like to say, in terms of producers, I'm a Juls, like, as well as him being one of my good friends, I'm a fan of his music, and I've heard the diverseness of in the last 2 years. His sound is very diverse. So maybe there was a time where you could guarantee a certain style. Like even when I heard the EP and there was a tune that he did with what artist there? Jacure. That one I was like, raw, because I didn't expect it, and it worked. You see where I'm coming from? So we got you. So I'm giving you the accolades here right now because it sounds.
You know what Hamke is saying. When you see me, yeah, it gets to a point where even Neptizzle was saying it, like a few minutes ago. I like to be very diverse because you don't want to necessarily put yourself in a box where people expect a certain sound from. Just like Neptizzle was saying. We're telling Neptizzle, Fats was saying, I saw Neptizzle play, dancehall at the Trace event, and I didn't know he could play, dancehall like that. Neptizzle was like, yeah, because he never really gets booked, for it's always Afrobeats. And sometimes as DJs, we want to be able to flex our muscles and show that we can play, different type of raves, because it's just peas in it. You would love to DJ at a place where they say, oh, I want like strictly hip hop or trap or dancehall or high life or whatever. So that it just shows that diversity. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, but from a promoter angle, because we've said that Nept plays a hard dancehall or bashment set, would you holler at Nept to come and do a dancehall set at your next dance?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but what I would do is I would say, for example, I might give him a longer set and not restrict him and give him a little bit of flexibility. But I wouldn't then say, let me drop Invasion and book Neptizzle. That would be mad. But me saying, listen, it's 2 hours, do your thing. Like, use this time. Because, you see, listen, us as DJs, we get locked into different things. Now, I'm multi-genre, yeah? But I play most genres pretty well. Do you get what I'm saying? So I kind of get that safe bet. So sometimes I never get sometimes they won't say, see, here you go kill the dance. Like kill in the good way, not kill in the bad way, right? Kill the dance, right? Because they would say they will have a fire set, say like Invasion just done a sick bashment set. Not a lot of people could follow and keep that keep the party on that trajectory. Do you get what I'm saying? So they'll put me in there as a safe bet, and then someone else will get another shine, but I'll be the guy that's like the glue. So being known as the glue means sometimes I never get the chance to shine. Like, you get what I'm saying? And Neptizzle getting locked into Afrobeats, even though he can do other stuff. You know, Invasion getting locked into dancehall. They can actually play other stuff. People get locked into things just based on the way you carry yourself. So from my perspective, it would be nice to see, like, all right, I do all these weekenders and stuff, and I'm playing Afrobeats because I'm brave enough to do it, basically. So I'll end up that guy that will be playing the Afrobeats. So I'll take my set, play Afrobeats, and then everyone else will get the hip hop and bust the dance and whatever. It'd be nice to see a Neptizzle on that. We don't have to keep him separate and be like, well, he does the Afrobeats thing, or Maestro does the Afrobeats thing. Bring them in, and so that the scene can expand and everybody can get different things. Plus, I need some new tunes, and it'd be nice to be seeing them a few more often. You know what I mean?
Shazam.
I can be Shazamming, you get me? Yeah. But yeah, that's what I do think. I do think we need the opportunity to be able to work together, because as much as we specialize in certain things or we carry ourselves in a certain way, we are essentially lovers of music. And it would be nice to see everyone do. I used to hear Maestro play more than Afrobeats years ago. It'd be nice to see him do that again. You get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man. But I think we should all just keep the link. And yeah, when I do have my next party, I'll book them and do what I say. I'm gonna be a man of my word. The next party, if this lockdown ever proper stops, I will be booking Neptizzle at friends and family discount. And
Deck 1, Deck 2 discount.
Yeah, Deck 1, Deck 2 discount. And I would give him a longer set and allow him to experiment and do more things and let people know what he's about.
But how do you guys see, just to deviate just a little bit, how do you guys see our scene in terms of parties and stuff like that going after lockdown?
Good question.
We had a convo about that last week. I think it's. I don't think it's going to happen for now. But I think it's going to be weird, isn't it? Because there's going to be people who want to go out, and there is already loads of people that want to go out. But I think it's going to be weird because there may be restrictions on how much people could be in a venue. Yeah. So you might have a big venue, but half the amount of people in there.
Of course,
it changes the whole aspect of raving, the whole dancing together. Some people may not do that, and it just changes the whole way in which we kind of party.
The longer it takes for the world to open back up and for social distancing to be a thing of the past, it will become the new norm. You know, people doing the 1 meter dance, you know, because they'd be too scared to rub up each other. Like, things are going to change. So I think it's for us to now, like, just be a part of some things you have to accept are never going to go back.
Yeah.
Part of the new change. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're going to start clubs, a table service. So it's going to be just about tables. So we got to start to learn how to adapt to dealing with that. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
But I
agree.
I think the longer it takes, the more normal it will become. And yeah, because the longer people are told to stay away from people, it'll become normal. And then when their default would be to stay away from people. You know
Having a new norm. Yeah, you're right.
It's a bit shit, but it is what it is, man. Jules, in the group, I'm gonna give you my email address. I would like to be a part of this mailing list I heard them talking about. You know, that exclusive club. If you don't mind, that would be great. I would like to be a part of that club. I play your music, bro, to the masses around the world. You know, and I buy it. Honestly. So it's a good look. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for passing through and blessing us with your presence.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you for this initiative, C, man.
Yeah.
I listened to the other one the other day actually when you had the promoters on actually. Tell a lie.
Yeah. Trying to get a
Yeah.
different
That's
view in it.
Funky House yet?
We say, bro?
Talking about Funky House yet?
Yeah, we had Funk Butcher, we had
Risco
Risco and Melody.
Melody.
Spoke about Funky House. Spoke about the highs and the lows of Funky House.
You think he can come back?
Well, Funky House.
Yeah.
Nah.
I would love it to come back. I think it was a vibe.
It would be like what C6 said about dancehall. It would take someone new to make Funky House, I think.
Even then, I even think we're the last generation to listen to anything kind of house or garage-ish in a dance. I think
although AJ Tracy is currently making garage music.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in our dances, bro. No one playing AJ Tracy.
Word.
Well, if he makes a few more in it and it becomes popular music.
Jules.
I was saying that what Fats was saying about the AJ Tracy thing, that's a big rhythm. And there's rumors that there are a couple of big artists that are trying to do garage tunes. I heard there's White Brother 8 trying to do a garage very soon, so they've been looking for like the right producer. So I feel like there's a collective that's gonna bring these genres back or reincarnate them. There's a couple of guys that you hear from one or two artists. Georgia Smith had a big song, Predator, and I feel like Funky House, it can come back, but it's just about how it sounds.
Do you know what's mad about that Georgia Smith song, right? I thought that Georgia Smith song would have done really well because it was a garage track and we're in the UK and it makes sense. But her first top 10 was actually an Afrobeats track, the one with Burner. So everything's changed, man. Everything's changed.
It's more popular now, isn't it? That's why. I guess because it's more popular.
All right, one last question before we go. I just want to have just one. Who is the biggest in Afrobeats right now? Just one
artist.
Yeah, artist wise, yeah.
Right now, Burner Boy.
Burner,
yeah. You all agree?
I'll say it's Burner. And you have to look at it from a perspective of asking us as specialists and people outside of our scene looking in.
I don't even think he needs to even be a specialist. I think we just look at stats and just how many hits he produced, over the past 12 to 18 months. Yeah, it's a no-brainer, really.
So someone like Davido though, isn't he massive?
Yes, but not like Burner.
Davido, Wiz, and Burner are massive. If you want to talk about who's hot right now, it's Burner.
That's basically that's what I was trying to say just now. But
And this new guy Rema.
Yeah, Rema's building a little thing.
Okay, so and do you think someone like J Hus is Afrobeats? Or is that, you don't think he represents Afrobeats?
No.
Who, J Hus?
Yeah, J Hus, that kind of vibe, yeah.
No.
Just have his cadences are very, African because he's Gambian and he's using that in his rap.
Okay. I'm just asking because there was a dance, there was a party a little while ago, and somebody was asked to do an Afrobeat set, and it was predominantly J Hus and that kind of vibe.
Who's somebody? You know it was UC6. Don't lie.
You know my thing, blood. You know my
thing. Talking third person. You know.
No, you know my thing. You know my thing. I does Afrobeats pretty well. Get me? I love that, man. Like, yeah, somebody was doing, and I said like, why? He's like, no, this is Afro. This is like the Afro. This is Afro swing kind of thing. I didn't really get it myself, but I don't know. I didn't want to be telling him that he's wrong, and I'm coming from an uninformed place, so I thought I'd demand them, but.
That's that whole Afro swing kind of vibe, innit? It's different. It takes elements of Afrobeats, of dancehall and UK rap, basically.
If you really,
What
if
the
you,
Afro thing is.
even the term Afro swing was funny to me because really it's Afro fusion. Because just like what Nep said, it's a fusion of different styles. Do you understand? But fundamentally, the roots of it is African music. But then there's a bit of everything in there. You know what I mean? So
I think that's what they do when they think swing, innit? Like it swings, it kind of swings from the left to the. You know what I mean?
no, I get it. I get like literally what you just said. I get it. But I prefer to call it Afrofusion. That's me. That's just me personally. So
It's getting the swing thing. It was getting to a point where a lot of these producers and artists were just doing songs that were just going completely left.
yeah,
And literally a certain formula where you just heard marimbas and bells and a certain drum pattern that sounded like it was kind of like Afro, but it wasn't. It was kind of like watering African music at a certain point. It wasn't really.
yeah.
You know, so that genre even died quick, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, guys. Before we leave, I just want to know Ghana escapes, man. Give me the lowdown, man. What's popping?
You know, just watching carefully with the borders. Really, our borders still haven't opened. So we're just paying careful attention. Yeah, they're very, very strict with the borders. So a lot of people, family members are trapped in Ghana because they're unable to come back, and obviously people can't go to Ghana. Some people have been able to return on like special chartered flights and things like that. So depending on how it goes, I say over the next kind of 6 to 8 weeks will kind of depend, or should I say, we'll look at if, you know, we're going to be in Ghana this year or not, depending on if the border's open, to be fair. Because with this talks of second wave happening, nobody knows what's happening tomorrow, see.
That's true. Well, I've been trying to get out there for Ghana escapes. Obviously, because it's Christmas time, and I got the family and the kids, and it's a bit difficult. But I definitely will have to make that in the next couple of years. I will definitely be there, man.
I was meant to go this year. I'm livid.
But Ghana throughout the course, I think December has been highlighted to be the peak season, which obviously for obvious reasons. But Ghana, it's nice throughout the year. There's so many things that happen, different festivals that happen throughout the course of the year for you to really experience the culture. So Ghana's borders are not just open in December. So I encourage people to go all throughout. Like they got things like we've got a festival called the Chalewote Festival, which is named after slippers. You understand? You know what I mean? Imagine attending a festival that's called all of those things. That happens, you know, I think in around Easter or something like that. But I encourage people to go throughout the course of the year, man.
I was trying to plug your thing, but you obviously didn't want to plug
my thing. No, I respect that, see, but my thing is Ghana. You know what I mean? My thing is Ghana. You know what I mean?
You know, Hamke works for the tourism board now, innit?
Yeah. You know when you gotta go up to that place to get your visa. I saw his picture on the wall.
Huh?
You know when you go to Ghana, you gotta go to the embassy to get the visa. Where is it?
High Commission.
Yeah, you up in North London. I saw your picture on the wall. I said I know him. They give me a 6-month stamp straight away. So it's all good. But
6 months visa.
I mean, hey, you man. Thank you very much for coming through.
No, seriously, I think even with what you're doing, seriously, as much as we've been joking, that I can't when you messaged me, I felt like I just got a booking, because during this season, it's like the last 3 months, we've just felt, I don't know, it's hard to keep motivated. So even just coming on this, and just, you know what I mean, obviously we usually see each other every week or every 2 weeks in clubs or social gatherings and weddings and stuff. So just even coming on here, man, it's kind of just reignited the whole mission of what we're all trying to do, man. So big up yourself, see you, man.
I was so gassed for it. When you said 8:30, I was on line 8:25. And when the time got pushed back, I thought, so I went to cook quickly.
What did you cook in that 10 minutes, bro?
It's pasta, man.
Indomie.
Pot noodle.
And you know, it's that Spurs fan antics, bro. You need to allow that.
Are you? Oh, you sound like an Arsenal fan.
Of course.
Yeah. I've been watching this Arsenal fan TV meme all day, man. It's mad. They should ban that, you know. I don't really follow football, but if I was an Arsenal fan, I would ban them. They make a mockery out of your team and their supporters, bro. It's a madness.
But you know what's funny? They bring a lot of comic relief to very stressful situations. Because if it wasn't for them, I don't know how I could deal with Arsenal. But
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
that's another discussion, mate.
Respect, man. Neptizzle, big up yourself, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
passing through, bro. Jules,
Thank
big up yourself.
God
Much
bless.
appreciated, man.
Yeah.
And Fats, last word with you, big man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but yeah, big up everyone that's locked in, staying with us through the course of this podcast. Remember, you can listen to it on SoundCloud /Fats Official UK or Spotify, and it'll be on YouTube as well to watch it. So yeah, man, we got everyone that's been giving us feedback on the show so far. It's been sick. Get one,
Big
get
up,
two,
man.
man.
Trust me. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Stay safe, guys, man. Take it easy.
Bless up.
Yeah.